Women are inherently cruel and merciless cold-blooded empresses. But now she is kneeling on the ground, allowing you to trample over her at will. Even though she is covered in wounds, she dares not fight back. Because the Empress was raised as a furnace since childhood. When the time was ripe, the man intended to seize her cultivation level using the dual cultivation method. However, at this moment, seeing her fragile and pitiful appearance, the man's legs went weak, and he kept stepping back in fear. It turned out that Su Longesong, who had traveled through time, not only inherited all of the original host's memories, but also foresaw that his future self would be discarded as a useless person into the demon's lair. He was also tormented by this corrupted empress, and was brutally tortured to death in the most cruel manner. The original owner, Su Longesong, was the young master of the Su family in the eternal divine realm, a proud son of heaven, admired by countless. But because he colluded with the demon abyss Saintis and betrayed the divine realm, he was wanted by the divine realm and fled to the mortal world, hiding in the Sword Cloud Immortal sect as a carefree elder. And the future empress was his disciple Feng Clarisse. Because the original owner had raised Feng Clarisse as a furnace, therefore she must maintain her virginity. But today the original protagonist witnessed Feng Clarisse sparring with her fellow disciple, senior brother. Because he strongly resents Feng Clarisse having contact with other members of the opposite sex. So the original owner gave her a harsh lesson. Just as Su Longesong was feeling a bit sorry for Feng Clarisse, suddenly, a system panel appeared and issued a warning. The host has developed sympathy for the world's chosen daughter, triggering a red warning. As the host of the super scumbag system, you must not show any pity towards the female lead, Feng Clarisse. New mission. Feng Clarisse has made a mistake. The host is required to punish her within 3 minutes. Rewards: 100 points, 10 stage-breaking pills. Penalty for failure: deduction of 10 points, cultivation level drops by 2 stages, and physical castration. The host's initial scumbag points are set at 100. Failing to complete tasks issued by the system will result in corresponding point deductions. If the points drop to 0, the system will automatically unbind, and the host will die. But unexpectedly, Feng Clarisse's cultivation level was only at the chi refining stage. Most likely the original owner, that scoundrel, taught her nothing at all. And at that moment the system reminded him that time was running out. In order to avoid being castrated, Su Longesong suddenly exerted force with his hand, directly sending Feng Clarisse flying. Then, he casually tossed out a cultivation manual and said indifferently, "Since you've made a mistake, you should be punished. As punishment, you shall copy this celestial grade cultivation method, which your master has treasured for years 10 times. Upon hearing this, Feng Clarisse was instantly dumbfounded. After all, there were only 2 celestial grade cultivation methods in the entire sword sect. Could this really be considered a punishment? And Su Longesong stood up and said indifferently, "If you understand, then leave quickly." In this way he successfully exploited the system's bug, and obtained the reward. Meanwhile, Feng Clarisse was filled with confusion, as the master had just struck her and expelled the stagnant blood from her body. Now not only has my old injury healed, but my meridians have also become much clearer. It seems I will soon break through the chi refining stage's 9th layer, and advance to the vital core stage. Thinking of this, Feng Clarisse couldn't help but speculate inwardly. Could it be that master is secretly helping me? Then she clenched the secret manual in her hand and murmured, "Thank you, master." At the same time, Su Longesong noticed that Feng Clarisse's favorability had increased by 10 points, and the scumbag points had also risen by 10. Then he discovered that Feng Clarisse's favorability was at negative 99 points, with a blackening level of 29%. And the system also prompted him that the main quest had officially begun. The main quest. The host is the ultimate villain, needing to alter the plot development of this world and plunder the destiny value of the male and female protagonists. Hidden task. Help the female lead, Feng Clarisse, to turn to the dark side. Task failure will result in the host losing all cultivation levels and becoming a waste. Su Longesong instantly felt overwhelmed. Helping the female lead turn dark? Isn't that like seeking death? If she turns dark, I'm done for. At that moment, Su Longesong suddenly sensed fluctuations in the mountain gate's barrier. He saw someone daring to charge up the mountain gate. Without hesitation, he rushed down the mountain. Meanwhile, at the mountain gate, a young girl was drenched in fragrant sweat, her face flushed crimson, her legs seemingly unable to carry her any further. She kept murmuring under her breath, "The Sword Cloud Immortal sect is just ahead. Hold on a little longer and I'll be saved. I hope someone from the Sword Cloud Immortal sect can stop that demon." As soon as Su Longesong arrived at the gate, he shouted sternly, "Who are you? Why are you forcing your way into my sword cloud immortal sect?" Su Longesong caught sight of the woman. The system immediately popped up a notification. Snowglaze, Northern Desolate Domain, Chief Disciple of the Snow Family. Early Transcendent Spirit Stage. Instead of being afraid, the woman pounced on Su Longesong like a hungry wolf. Then she forcibly pinned him down and kept writhing, clearly in distress, as if struggling to suppress some indescribable desire. The woman was originally the chief disciple of the Snow Family from the Northern Desolate Domain. However, due to being afflicted with seduction venom, she was consumed by burning desire. She actually wanted a man to immediately help extinguish the burning desire within her. Su Longesong immediately recognized that she had likely been afflicted with some kind of seduction venom. To prevent the seduction venom from spreading, he decisively sealed her meridians. Su Longesong then noticed that the girl's injuries appeared to be quite serious. For now, he had no choice but to take her back and wait until she woke up to ask for details. Seeing Su Longesong carry the woman away, Elder Bai Yunchen, hiding in the bushes, immediately let out a cold snort. "Su Longesong, you fickle-hearted playboy." Meanwhile, while treating Snowglaze, Su Longesong signaled the system to check her information. Snowglaze, the future secret lover of the male protagonist Yi Maple in this world, sacrificed herself to save the male lead in the ancient mythic realm, opened by the eternal immortal dynasty. Su Longesong never would have imagined. He actually stumbled upon the secret harem that the male lead, Yi Maple, was secretly building. Just as Su Longesong was lost in thought, Snowglaze suddenly spat out a mouthful of ketchup. It turned out that after Su Longesong's treatment, the toxins in her body were finally eliminated. Immediately, she quickly stood up and expressed her gratitude to Su Longesong. Then she discovered that her savior was actually both handsome and young. Instantly, her cheeks flushed red as she became infatuated. Then, the system popped up a notification. Snowglaze's favorability increased by 30, reward 300 scumbag points. And Snowglaze also bowed solemnly, saying, "Elder Glaze fears that staying here might bring trouble to your sect." Before she could finish her words, a sinister voice suddenly erupted. "You little scum of the Sword Cloud Immortal sect, how dare you hide someone belonging to me?" The disciples of the Sword Cloud Immortal sect were instantly terrified upon hearing the voice. It was the aura of the Ghost Corpse sect. When did members of their sect infiltrate our Sword Cloud Immortal sect? It's the Ghost Corpse Patriarch. The Ghost Corpse Patriarch is a powerhouse at the middle transcendent spirit stage. He is known for his savage and cruel nature, infamous throughout the 5 great domains for his brutality. His hands have destroyed countless sects and been stained with the blood of innumerable people. At that moment, the system also popped up a prompt. The storyline character, Ghost Corpse Patriarch, has appeared. Please assist Snowglaze in dealing with the Ghost Corpse Patriarch. Random reward, scumbag points. The host can only intervene at the most critical moment. The higher the pretense, the greater the random reward points. At that very moment, 3 figures suddenly flew out from within the sect, and a cold shout echoed simultaneously. "How dare you act so recklessly, Ghost Corpse Patriarch? Our Sword Cloud Immortal sect has always kept to its own affairs and never interfered with your Ghost Corpse sect. When did we ever hide your—" The newcomers were none other than the sect's elders. They were second elder Bai Yunchen and fourth elder Zhao Sunchen, and first elder Zhou Yuan. Seeing this, the Ghost Corpse Patriarch grinned ferociously and said, "The one below is the furnace I have my eyes on. Return it to me at once, or else I will wipe out your insignificant sect without a second thought." Upon hearing this, Bai Yunchen immediately shouted, "This little wench trespassed into our sect and deserves to be expelled. Take her away quickly and stop flaunting your power here." The Ghost Corpse Patriarch immediately became excited. "You and that girl from the Snow family shall become my dual cultivation furnaces. If you serve me well, I might just spare your sect." At this, Bai Yunchen instantly flew into a rage. "You old fossil! Do you truly believe my Northern Desolate Bai family has no supreme expert? If anything happens to me, the Bai family will hunt you down to the deepest depths of hell." Snowglaze has also resigned to fate. The Ghost Corpse Patriarch is a powerhouse at the middle transcendent spirit stage. No one in your sect is a match for him. I've implicated you all, so I'll just go with him. Upon hearing this, Su Longesong couldn't help but mutter to himself, "My current cultivation level is suppressed, so I can't fight at full strength. Inside me, there is a bloodline planted by a supreme powerhouse from the eternal divine realm Su family. This restraint conceals my aura, allowing me to avoid detection and pursuit by those from the divine realm. The cost is that my cultivation level has been suppressed by 2 stages. But then Su Longesong suddenly remembered something. Then he decisively stopped Miss Snowglaze. If I save you only to send you to your death later, how will the world view me? The Sword Cloud Immortal Sect. Our sect has strong protectors. A mere transcendent spirit stage is nothing to fear. Upon hearing this, the Ghost Corpse Patriarch instantly laughed. It seems every member of the Sword Cloud Immortal Sect is an overconfident fool with a death wish. A mere nascent soul dares to play the hero saving the beauty. This venerable one specializes in putting pretenders in their place. Prepare to die. As soon as the words fell, Su Longesong secretly activated the Supreme Spiritual Pressure Simulation card. At the moment the card was used, instantly, a vast and terrifying pressure surged into the sky, carrying a fearsome aura that seemed to shake the entire world, as if the heavens were collapsing and the earth splitting, with God's awakening. At the same time, a deep and powerful voice, as if descending from the highest heavens, echoed, "This venerable one wishes to see today who dares to lay a hand on the Sword Cloud Immortal Sect." As these words echoed, they struck like a bolt from the blue, instantly stunning everyone present. The aura from the heavens was overwhelmingly vast and profound, so powerful that it made everyone tremble from the depths of their souls. Then, the Supreme Expert abruptly seized the Ghost Corpse Patriarch and declared. At this moment, the Ghost Corpse Patriarch was completely panicked. "Sword Cloud Immortal Sect, you have no martial virtue. How dare you have the protection of a Supreme Expert?" And Snowglaze couldn't help but look towards Su Longesong. A trace of inexplicable emotion flickered in her eyes. This girl, in order to keep up with her master's pace, she resolutely chose to shed her clothes without hesitation. Turns out that just moments ago, Su Longesong secretly used the Supreme Spiritual Power Pressure card. The Dharma manifestation, possessing supreme-level power, instantly suppressed the Ghost Corpse Patriarch. Bai Yunshin couldn't help but be filled with shock. Unexpectedly, there's a Supreme Expert backing our sect. Zhou Yuan frowned, wondering, could it be that the sect leader intentionally left this protection for us during his absence? At the same time, the Ghost Corpse Patriarch suddenly erupted with a surge of spiritual energy, breaking free from the restraints. He had already expended most of his spiritual energy just to break free. Seeing that he was no match, he promptly pleaded for mercy, saying, "I have been presumptuous and did not know that the Sword Cloud Immortal Sect was under your protection. It was my recklessness. With your esteemed presence, I dare not lay a hand on the Sword Cloud Immortal Sect. I only seek to retrieve my furnace. This person is not a disciple of the Sword Cloud Immortal Sect. I beg for your understanding, senior." After saying this, the Ghost Corpse Patriarch quickly turned and rushed towards Snowglaze. But Su Longesong suddenly blocked in front of Snowglaze and sneered, "If I were you, I wouldn't be so foolish." Seeing this, the Ghost Corpse Patriarch instantly roared in fury. "A mere spiritual infant stage pinnacle dares to block my path? You're seeking death." With that, the Ghost Corpse Patriarch lunged at Su Longesong, claws bared and fangs flashing. Facing the fierce assault of the Ghost Corpse Patriarch, Su Longesong sneered coldly and said, "I gave you a chance, but you just can't make good use of it." As soon as the words fell, the Supreme Dharma manifestation gently raised a finger, gathering a ray of spiritual power between its fingertips. Then with a sudden burst, it shot out a powerful and terrifying spiritual power shockwave. Under the gaze of everyone, the shockwave struck the Ghost Corpse Patriarch's body. Then the Supreme Dharma manifestation lowered its head respectfully and said, "Your Highness, I have suppressed his cultivation stage. This person is now at your disposal." Su Longesong then gestured quite pretentiously, "You may step back." Zhao Sunshin gasped in shock at the sight. The Supreme Powerhouse actually bowed in submission to Su Longesong. Elder Su is truly young and accomplished, clearly no ordinary person. And the Ghost Corpse Patriarch quickly scrambled up from the pile of rubble, pleading for mercy, saying, "This humble one failed to recognize Mount Tai and has offended the Supreme One. Please, Supreme One, spare this humble one's life. From now on, our Ghost Corpse sect will wholeheartedly submit to you, following your every command without question." Su Longesong grinned at the sight and said, "All right, you may go." Upon hearing this, the Ghost Corpse Patriarch immediately turned around eagerly and said, "Thank you, Supreme One." However, Su Longesong quietly began to gather spiritual power. Then, he indifferently struck out with a finger, annihilating the Ghost Corpse Patriarch. Then with a chilling tone he said, "Your Ghost Corpse sect has committed countless evils and treated human lives as worthless. What kind of filthy creature dares to offer me service?" Even Zhao Sunshin, who had always disliked Su Longesong, he also hurried out to flatter him. Meanwhile, Feng Clarisse, who had been hiding in the corner all along, couldn't help but clench her fists, the secret manual in her hand, murmuring to herself. The master has already grown this powerful. Can I keep up with my master's pace? At the same time, a system panel suddenly popped up in front of Su Longesong. Act successful. Random reward. 777 scumbag points. Snowglaze's favorability increased by 30. Current Snowglaze favorability has reached 75. Host has altered the development of the relationship between the male lead Maple and Snowglaze. Reward. 500 scumbag points. 500 destiny value. Su Longesong immediately furrowed his brows and secretly decided. Right, the sect competition is coming up in a few days, and Maple and other important characters will appear then. My disciple Feng Clarisse's cultivation level is still too low now. I need to figure out a way. The next morning, Su Longesong brought Feng Clarisse out. I have a friend from the Yaoguai race. She didn't want to get involved in the clan leader's power struggle within her tribe. She and I hid by the lake in the back mountain. I brought you here to help you improve your cultivation level. As soon as the words were spoken, a woman emerged from the lake. Her hair was silver, and she wore a long cyan dress, yet her face was as youthful as that of a 7 or 8-year-old girl. The most eerie part was that beneath her, she had a tail tinged with shades of purple and cyan. Su Longesong immediately stated the purpose of this visit. I'm here for something else. The sect is too competitive, and my disciple's cultivation level is too low. Just learned martial arts and cultivation method. She's not familiar with them yet. Sister Yaoguai Lan, don't you have the Yaoguai Long race's body-tempering divine mantra? I was hoping you could help teach her. Upon hearing this, Yaoguai Lan blinked lightly and cast her gaze towards Su Longesong. I didn't expect you to like this type. Once sister reaches the supreme stage, she'll be able to take human form. By then, I won't be inferior to this young lady here either. By then, you'll be able to do whatever you want. At that moment, the system suddenly issued a side mission. Please host, raise Yaoguai Lan's favorability to above 80, and at the moment of her promotion, seize the Yaoguai Long bloodline within her body and extract her long bone. Completion reward. 10,000 destiny value. Mission failure penalty. Deduct 10,000 scumbag points and 10,000 destiny value. This girl is participating in the sect competition for the first time. Unexpectedly, she fell victim to a plot by a senior disciple from the sect. It turned out that just moments ago, the system had suddenly issued a villainous mission to Su Longesong. He was utterly speechless. Damn system, you don't do a single thing that's even remotely human-like. In her previous life, Yaoguai Lan trusted Su Longesong the most, but Su Longesong's true goal was her dragon bone. At the moment of her ascension, he launched a surprise attack and ruthlessly extracted the dragon bone. But on the surface, Su Longesong still pretended to look as if he had been teased. Sister Yaoguai Lan, I'll leave the little disciple in your hands. Clarisse, be good and listen to her, okay? And Feng Clarisse had no choice but to stand there, feeling a bit at a loss. But Yaoguai Lan suddenly pulled her over and said, since your master has entrusted you to me, you must listen to me. Otherwise, a weakling like you will never keep up with your master's pace. Taking off your clothes allows for better absorption of the Yaoguai Long essence blood, to temper your body. I'm not a man, are you still afraid I'll devour you? Hearing this, Feng Clarisse blushed with embarrassment, frozen in place, unsure of what to do. But then she thought of her master, Su Longesong. Feng Clarisse absolutely did not want to disappoint him, so she made up her mind. Under Yaoguai Lan's guidance, she began to focus on absorbing the Yaoguai Long essence blood. A few days later, the Sword Cloud Immortal Sects Grand Competition arrived. 4th Elder Zhao Sunchen was utterly astonished that so many people had come to our sect's internal competition. 1st Elder Zhou Yuan then revealed the reason. A supreme powerhouse had emerged out of nowhere, drawing forces from all directions. They had all come for Elder Su. We were merely benefiting from the ripple effect. And the most eye-catching among them were the 3 great clans of the northern desolate domain. The leader among them was Snow Long City of the Snow family. That is Snowglaze's father. And master of the Hong family, Hong Wanming. And family master of the Bai family, Bai Yitong. Snow Long City couldn't wait and said, Glaze, you're fortunate to have connected with the supreme of the Sword Cloud Immortal sect this time. It's said that this lord is both young and highly cultivated. When will you introduce your father to him? Upon hearing this, Snowglaze immediately blushed with shyness. At that moment, the members of the Yaoguai Slain Alliance also arrived at the grand competition venue. Leading them was none other than the young master of the Yaoguai Slain Alliance, Wei Kuan. At the same time, a figure in the crowd was watching Snowglaze intently. He couldn't help but reveal a faint smile. Snowglaze, it's been a long time. Soon, the sect grand competition officially begins. After rounds of selection, Feng Clarisse fought her way through all obstacles and finally reached the finals. The final of the Sword Cloud Immortal Sect's annual grand competition will feature Feng Clarisse versus Liu. Su Longesong was not surprised by this. After being tempered by Yaoguai Lan, Feng Clarisse's potential had been partially unleashed. After all, she was destined to become the Empress in the future. But Liu was completely unaware of this and said smugly, "Junior sister, the things senior brother taught you back then weren't bad, right? If it weren't for me, senior brother, you would have been knocked out in the first round long ago." Hearing this, Feng Clarisse immediately furrowed her brows and cursed inwardly. What guidance? Just taking advantage of me, that's all. Hypocrite. Seeing Feng Clarisse remain silent, Liu became even more enthusiastic. Junior sister, just give up. You're no match for me. How about finding a quiet place tonight, and let your senior brother teach you a few more moves properly? Hearing this, Feng Clarisse could no longer hold back. She raised her hand and struck Liu with a sword as a warning. Caught off guard, Liu had his face cut in an instant. He was instantly enraged. How dare you harm my handsome face? With that, Liu furiously engaged in a fierce battle with Feng Clarisse. While the two were locked in their fierce exchange, Wei Kuan suddenly felt a tightness in his chest. This female disciple carries the aura of the Yaoguai race. Though faint, it cannot deceive me, the young master of the Yaoguai Slain Alliance. And Su Longesong was quite helpless at the moment. This reckless guy had run into Feng Clarisse's line of fire. Could this be where her descent into darkness begins? And the elders couldn't help but marvel. This female disciple, who had hardly made an impression before, had made such remarkable progress in just a few days. It seems Elder Su had put in considerable effort for her. Meanwhile, Feng Clarisse in the arena was becoming increasingly valiant. She slashed Liu's arm with her sword. At that moment, Liu instantly lost his composure. How could this girl's cultivation level have improved so much in just a few days? If I lose this, how am I supposed to keep my reputation, Liu? Thinking of this, Liu no longer cared about the duel rules. With one hand holding a hidden weapon, he swung his sword at Feng Clarisse with the other. Just as Feng Clarisse raised her sword with both hands to block it, the hidden weapon in Liu's hand was immediately and fiercely thrown out. But Feng Clarisse reacted with extreme speed. She swung her sword backhand and shattered it. But Liu had already seized the moment to leap into the air. He charged toward her. Due to the extremely close distance between them, Feng Clarisse had no way to avoid it now. The girl possesses extraordinary bloodline power within her. She unexpectedly encountered the demon race's young master attempting to seize it. And he even wanted to take her away to have his babies. Just moments ago, Feng Clarisse nearly got hit during the match. Fortunately, as she leaned back to dodge, she delivered a kick powerful enough to intimidate any man. She struck Liu's vulnerable spot with precision. The men present couldn't help but gasp in unison. She was merciless. She just ended her senior brother's bloodline. Our Sword Cloud Immortal sect is a righteous and honorable school. How could we resort to attacking someone's lower body? However, Feng Clarisse successfully won the championship of the grand competition because of this. Just as Su Longesong was about to open his mouth to praise Feng Clarisse, a sinister chuckle came through. Interesting, how amusing. The Sword Cloud Immortal sect prides itself on being a noble sect. I never expected these disciples to resort to underhanded tricks. Are all these people gathered here today to welcome me, the Crown Prince? Upon seeing this, the fourth elder exclaimed in shock. This demonic energy. Could it be the Crown Prince of the demon race, Demon Daosky? He is the third-rank powerhouse on the Heaven and Earth demon ranking. An absolutely ruthless figure. None of us can stand against him. Why would he come here? In contrast, Yi Maple, hidden among the crowd, remained remarkably calm. Finally, you're here. I've been waiting for you for so long. Amidst the rolling thunderclouds, a massive black long emerged first. Demon Daosky slowly rose from the dragon's head, a mocking smile flickering in his eyes. Today's sect competition must have plenty of treasures. I, the Crown Prince, am quite interested in these. What do you think we should do about it? However, the fourth elder suddenly calmed down. The mountain gate barrier of our Sword Cloud Immortal sect is no joke. There's no way he can break through it. Yet that very barrier, which was a source of pride, was shattered into pieces by the black dragon in the blink of an eye. Demon Daosky immediately sneered disdainfully. A mere barrier, how laughable. With that, Demon Daosky transformed into a streak of black light, directly plunging into the arena. A surge of immense demonic chi instantly billowed forth. The lowly Feng Clarisse was instantly rendered immobile by the hurricane-force winds. Then Demon Daosky swept his gaze over the crowd and indifferently declared, 10 seconds. Uninvolved personnel, leave immediately. The system suddenly issued a task to Su Longesong. Prevent the Demon Prince from joining the Sword Cloud Immortal sect, and defeat the Demon Prince in front of everyone. Seize the opportunity for Yi Maple to show off. Before long. Upon hearing the commotion, the onlookers who had initially gathered for entertainment immediately turned around and dispersed, fearing they might get caught up in it themselves. And the first elder decisively said, Elder Su, activate the sect's grand formation. With the few of us old fellows combined, we can still put up a fight against him. But Su Longesong responded bluntly, you are not capable. Demon Daosky's gaze suddenly shifted toward Feng Clarisse behind him, and then his eyes narrowed sharply. There's an unusual bloodline aura emanating from this woman. If nurtured properly, she might bring unexpected surprises in the future. Thinking this, Demon Daosky directly pinched Feng Clarisse's face. This little girl's methods are quite reminiscent of my demon race's style. It's truly a pity for you to stay here. Why don't you come back to the demon race with me? You might just become the next heavenly demoness. But Feng Clarisse refused without hesitation. You're too ugly. I won't go with you. At this, Demon Daosky was utterly shattered. I am clearly the most handsome in the demon realm. This woman must be both foolish and blind. No matter. Once I slaughter all of you, seize your sect's spiritual veins, and take your cultivation methods and secret treasures, you will naturally come with me. But don't say I never gave you a chance. Serve me as a servant for 3 years, and I'll spare you all today. Upon hearing this, the fourth elder was instantly terrified, thinking the proposal didn't sound too bad. However, Su Longesong made a domineering entrance and responded, Sorry, but it seems my disciple isn't very interested in your demon race. Please leave. She saw her master standing up for her. Feng Clarisse's eyes immediately lit up with delight. However, Demon Daosky clearly didn't take him seriously. How dare a mere sect elder dare to challenge me, the crown prince? After saying this, the demonic Daosky's spiritual power instantly boiled around him. He unleashed a surging demonic dragon, charging fiercely towards Su Longesong. Meanwhile, Su Longesong calmly formed hand seals and chanted incantations, responding, Let's clash over there. As soon as the words fell, the swords of the little goblins were inexplicably pulled into the air by an unseen force. These long swords abruptly converged before Su Longesong, forming a sword array that shot violently toward Demon Daosky. Yet the sword array was entirely intercepted by the demonic Chi Black Long. Immediately, Demon Daosky sneered, If you're not good enough, just practice more. Do you really think you can fight me with your early transcendent spirit stage cultivation level? But before he could finish his words, Su Longesong unexpectedly appeared behind him like a ghost. The man, because he was bound to the villain system. Under the circumstances, he had no choice but to confront the chosen one head-on. But unexpectedly, the other party turned their spearhead toward his disciple. Just moments ago, Demon Daosky blocked all of Su Longesong's attacks with his formidable cultivation level. While Su Longesong, despite having his cultivation level suppressed, he cultivates by refining the ordinary spiritual power within his body into an even more domineering and terrifying celestial tier cultivation method, the immortal divine technique. The next second, Su Longesong roared furiously, unleashing a terrifying and violent surge of spiritual power. The immortal spiritual power condensed into a beam and shot out instantly. He slammed the Demon Daosky directly onto the ground. The mockery on Demon Daosky's face vanished instantly as he tried to rise and curse angrily. But Su Longesong kicked him in the face and sneered coldly. Don't move or your neck might break. Take a deep breath. Feeling dizzy is normal. At that moment, the system suddenly issued a prompt. System task completed. Reward. Host gains 500 scumbag points and 1,000 destiny value. Current total points. 1,900. Demon Daosky was instantly enraged. Damn it, you deliberately concealed your cultivation level to make me underestimate you. The surrounding onlookers were also stunned. The demon prince was actually suppressed with a single move. Such terrifying combat power. And Yi Maple, hidden in the shadows, was also somewhat shocked, never expecting the Sword Cloud Immortal sect to have such a figure. Just as Demon Daosky struggled to his feet, 2 golden chains suddenly pierced through his body. Su Longesong's eyes narrowed sharply at the sight, and Demon Daosky immediately turned around and yelled, Which bastard dares to ambush me? Su Longesong instantly knew who had made the move. "You've finally shown yourself," he said. "In this world setting, the male protagonist is my archenemy as the villain Yimaple, the saint of the Azure Long sacred land." Demon Daosky was furious at the moment. Not only could he not defeat that guy surnamed Su, but did he really think any random nobody could come and bully him too? Meanwhile, Yimaple immediately yanked the chain sharply and snorted coldly, uttering a single word. "Noisy." The previously clamoring Demon Daosky. He was instantly sent flying with a sharp crack. After he landed on the ground, Yimaple immediately lifted his foot and stomped hard on the other side of his face. After showing off, Yimaple lifted his cloak to reveal his true face. His cultivation level had already reached the terrifying middle supreme stage. The others immediately recognized his identity. How could a saint candidate from the Azure Long sacred land appear here? All the elders promptly bowed respectfully. The Sword Cloud Immortal sect welcomed Saint Ye's esteemed presence. Facing the bows from everyone, Yimaple quickly raised his hand to signal, "You are all too polite." Then fourth elder fawned, "Had we known the saint was here, we wouldn't have been in such a sorry state. May I ask what brings your excellency the saint here?" Upon hearing this, Yimaple explained to everyone, "The assessment task for this term Saint of the Azure Long sacred land is to capture the demon Daosky. That is why I have come." No sooner had the words been spoken than a deafening roar echoed from above. As Demon Daosky's pet, the demonic Long charged fiercely toward Yimaple. But Yimaple faced the demonic Long's devastating, earth-shattering assault. Yet, the expression on his face remained completely unchanged. His right hand abruptly rose, 2 fingers bent together, with a brilliant golden light gathering between them. A domineering and terrifying aura suddenly burst forth. He instantly blasted the enormous demonic Long into a tiny black snake. Demon Daosky has completely admitted defeat this time. But unexpectedly, Yimaple suddenly spoke up. "It would be faster to just take your head back." But just as Yimaple was about to bring down the blade, a thrown pebble interrupted the action. Immediately, Yimaple turned to Su Longesong and demanded, "What's your problem?" It turned out that the system had issued a random task, to rescue the demon Daosky from the male lead Yimaple, and disrupt his saint trial. However, Su Longesong remained calm and composed, stating, "Sorry, I can't let him die within the territory of my Sword Cloud Immortal sect. Otherwise, when the demon race comes seeking revenge in the future, many of us will die." Upon hearing this, Yimaple's furrowed brow relaxed slightly. "That makes sense. I hadn't considered that thoroughly enough." Meanwhile, Demon Daosky's mind began racing as well. It seemed that as long as he stayed put, Yimaple wouldn't be able to touch him. With that thought, Demon Daosky immediately stood up and boasted, "Yimaple, if I weren't slightly injured today, I'd absolutely hang you, the Saint of Azure Long sacred land, up and beat you to a pulp." And Yimaple could only sigh helplessly. "I'll let you off today, but once you leave Sword Cloud Immortal sect, I'll make my move. However, there is one more matter that requires an explanation from everyone. Why does this junior sister carry the aura of the Yaogwai race?" As soon as these words were spoken, the faces of several elders instantly changed drastically. "Impossible, there must be some misunderstanding, right?" However, the young master of the Yaogwai Slain Alliance stepped forward and said, "Saint Yi is right. This woman indeed carries the aura of the Yaogwai race. She may deceive others, but she can never deceive us, the Yaogwai Slain Alliance. This girl was supposed to be the secret lover of the Child of Destiny. Yet unexpectedly, she found herself drawn to a man. She even wanted to stay and serve the man. Turns out, just moments ago, the aura of the Yaogwai race on Feng Clarisse was detected by the young master of the Yaogwai Slain Alliance. He declared with certainty, there is indeed the aura of the Yaogwai race on her. We absolutely cannot let her escape today." Feng Clarisse was completely dumbfounded. She had no idea what to do at all. Wei Kuan couldn't wait to burst into laughter. Today, this alliance leader will uphold justice on behalf of heaven. And Su Longesong